Some people don't understand why adopting a pet is so important or beneficial. Some people might think that rescuers or shelter animals are just the rejects of the animal population, but that is not the case. My presentation today is called Adopt, Don't Shop, and my name is Samantha Demerslioglio. This is my audience of 5. Common questions when it comes to this subject are, why should you adopt when there are plenty of wonderful animals in pet stores? Who is going to buy the animals in the pet store if everyone adopts? Aren't sheltered animals not as healthy as pet store animals? Of course, these are all wonderful questions if it's your first time owning a pet or your first time adopting a pet. Therefore, my purpose today is to convince you all to adopt your next pet instead of buy one. I have 2 arguments that I chose to support my topic, and the first one is, by adopting an animal, you are saving a life. And my second argument is, an animal from a shelter or a rescue is just as likely to be healthy as an animal from a pet store. Now, you might be wondering why I chose this topic. I am very passionate about saving animals' life, especially if there's an innocent life. No matter what the animal's background is, what the circumstances, what their appearance is, they just want to be loved as much as they want to love us. So, I'm now going to talk about my first argument, which is, by adopting an animal, you are saving a life. When you adopt an animal such as a dog or a cat or even a hamster, they're in a shelter for a second chance at life. They've been through a lot such as abuse, they were lost, they were abandoned, and it's your job to help them get a second chance at life. The best example I could use for an animal in a shelter is just like a used car. You're buying something for cheap, but it is just as capable and just as lovable as a brand new one. According to PETA.org, there are 3 to 4 million animals euthanized in shelters each year. Now, as much as a big number that is, it has decreased over the years. It used to be 12 to 20 million animals were euthanized in shelters each year in the United States. But by adopting an animal, you are decreasing this number. Now, one of the most common arguments that people have are, who are going to buy the animals in the store or from the breeders? And that is a great argument, because of course those animals need a home too, but there is a way around it. According to the humanesociety.org, pet stores or online sellers are considered factory-style breeding facilities, which means puppy mills. Now, these puppy mills are only in this business for the profit, not for the condition of the animal. These dogs that are being breeded, the mother is giving birth over and over again with little recovery time in between, which is not only not healthy for the mother, but not healthy for the puppies. Now, with that being said, if you stop buying animals from pet stores, this will stop the puppy mills from it being out of business, because if no one buys from the pet store, then the puppy mills will have no one to sell them to. So adopting an animal will stop the end to puppy mills. And now that you know how to save a life from adopting, I'm going to start with my argument number 2, which is animals from a shelter are just as likely to be healthy or even more healthy than an animal from a pet store. I am sure everyone here has been to some kind of pet store or puppy store and seen the beautiful cages that the dogs are in and the puppies are running around, and you think to yourself, wow, these dogs are really healthy. And your mindset changes once you go to a shelter, because you see they're just basically behind bars and they, not as up to date as pet store cages. But that is not the case, because animals in shelters are taken very good care of, let alone probably taken more care of than puppies in a pet store. And a common argument that people have against rescuing or sheltered dogs is that they're obviously there for a reason because of temperament problems or for health issues, and that is not always the case. All these animals end up there for millions of reasons. A lot of people just assume these things before doing research, but according to the humanesociety.org, there is always a veterinarian on site checking for fleas, worms, they're cleaning their cages, making sure the dogs are healthy. And one great perk to adopting your pet is neutering and spading cost hundreds of dollars, and according to the ASPCA.org, the cost of spading or neutering a pet is less than the cost of raising puppies or kittens for a whole year. And normally when you adopt a dog from a shelter or rescue, they're already neutered or spaded, so not only are you saving money on buying a new family member, but they're already healthy, already have their new shots, already checked for worms, and you get the whole package. So, the solution to these arguments are a no-brainer, and they're pretty simple, as I stated before, If you save an animal's life, you save an animal's life by adopting, you are receiving a healthy animal. It's a great way to earn a new family member. So, to conclude my speech today, I'm going to restate my two arguments, which is adopt to save a life and animals from a shelter are just as likely to be healthy as an animal from a pet store. So you can find a beautiful and capable animal in a rescue or a shelter, just like a pet store, and next time, I hope I have convinced you all to adopt next time instead of buy, and next time you are thinking of adding a furry companion to your family, think adopt, don't shop. So here's my 5 audience once again.